Welcome in, everyone, to Bet Win Repeat. I'm your host, Hannah Mears. You can follow my social medias at Mears Hannah on all my platforms. And of course, on Bet Win Repeat, we have all of your betting content. If you want to be involved in any of our contests, head over to our Facebook page. On Picks and Parlays, we have weekly and monthly contests. And of course, you can always head over to our website, picksandparlays.net. We're always running different promos. This one, use promo code MLB, saves you 20% off of the entire site, so you don't want to miss that. Also on Picks and Parlays, I have daily Mearsy Minutes giving out my best bet, but better yet, I have Beers with Mears, a show that you're not going to want to miss. Season 1 is going to come to an end soon. If you are a fan of football, we have stuff on there. We have basketball. We have all kinds, UFC, wrestling, all different kinds of content on there for you guys to listen to. And coming up next, we will have some Boston Celtics content, very inside on that. So information you might want to hear. If there's any questions you'd want to ask a Boston Celtics insider, let me know. Always here to help. But yes, Beers with Mears live on Picks and Parlays platforms as well as Spotify. Speaking of beer, has anyone been involved in social media this week? Because Beer Olympics from our NFL athletes have been going crazy. Jason and Travis Kelce have started their own Beer Olympics. That's in Sea City at Ocean Drive yesterday. $50K was on the line. And then also Bussin' with the Boys. A ton of stars came out to that one. An NFL athlete, George Kittle, was seen hoisting a trophy at the end. Let's bring in Cam the Man to talk about some of this, because before we get into any sports betting content, this is what my feed has been consisting of lately, and I am here for it. Obviously, Beers with Mears would love to have my own Beer Olympics one day. Would you be a Beer Olympics participant?
I would give it hell.
Yeah?
I would. I'm not even a big beer guy, but just for the culture or whatever you want to say, I would give it hell. Yeah, for sure.
What do you think your strongest suit would be? They've had chug-offs. They had flip cup. I think there was beer pong. Look at this.
Beer pong, for sure. For
beer
sure,
pong?
my thing would be beer pong.
I don't know if you know this about me, but if there was a woman's chug-off or something, I'm really good at shotgunning beer.
Oh.
That's one of my big skills. It's one of my skills.
It's one of your hidden talents?
Yeah, it's one of my hidden talents.
I'm writing that down. I'm writing that down for further discussion.
Evaluation?
Yeah, we'll talk about that at a later.
We're going to circle back.
Bring him back. Wait a second, Mr. Fedora, for further discussion. What would your Beer Olympics talent be? What's your biggest asset?
First of all, I have competed in my own Beer Olympics as well. There's a local bar here out in Las Vegas that has a Beer Olympics, and it's an event. There's beer pong, flip cup. There's a dart thing, and then there's some kind of ping pong, but with paddles, not beer pong. I don't know. It was 5 events. And it was a 4-team relay kind of thing. And we had a man go down real early because the Beer Olympics didn't start till 7 o'clock that night. And we got to the bar at 2 to practice. And
get loose.
Practice should not have went that way. There were shots involved and a lot of stuff. So we had a man go down early. So we were DNF'd out. We did not finish. But I'll try and find a picture. We had headbands that said drunk 1, drunk 2, drunk 3, drunk 4. And it was good times.
Leave it to Lenny. If there was anybody participating in Beer Olympics, it was Lenny. So leave it to him.
Beer chug.
Before you take off, though.
I used to have a DOS boot. I used to, but I don't know where it is. But yeah, I've competed. Yeah,
before you take off, were you the man that went down?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Surprisingly, it was the little redheaded Irish guy. Yeah, I thought he could hang. And you know what it was? He was drinking beer and not whiskey. He's a leprechaun, and that didn't work.
Yeah, it messed with his blood.
Yeah, it screwed his old blood up. So he went down man early, and then his dad went down because he had to take care of him, and then I was left with
go into dad mode.
Another little friend, another guy we call Little Tommy, and so it was I was definitely anchoring the team in more ways.
I'm here for it.
It was.
Good
I
work,
feel like
bro.
we did a lot of crate races in college. I think there was a Beer Olympics once, but we did a lot of crate races. Those will hurt your liver and make you regret a lot of life decisions the next day.
Yeah, there's a lot of keg stands involved in my life. Stuff like that. There was a lot of kegs involved in my life. In a younger life. I'm in my 50s now. I can't talk about that.
Happens to the best of us. If anyone wants
okay.
some good Beer Olympics content, go ahead and search your Twitter feeds. New Heights podcast with Jason and Travis Kelsey. Go to Bussin' with the Boys. You will not regret some of the things you see. It is quite entertaining. So that was how I've been starting off my week, just scrolling through there, looking through all of that. But again, speaking of some NFL players, Adam Schefter tweeted out that a handful of NFL athletes will be expected to have suspensions for gambling. We had just talked about this last week of all these gambling policies and these athletes and what they're doing. Now it's being leaked that a handful of players. Will there be an NFL season the first 2 weeks at this rate, Cam?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a season, but guys are just, I guess they just don't get it, or they just think it's a joke. Because wasn't there like 2 Lions suspended for like 6 games back in April?
Yeah, 3 of them.
4 Lions. 4 Lions.
I think.
4 Lions.
Well,
yeah,
no,
I knew it was a couple of Lions. They're suspended for like 6 games.
Only one that really mattered, in my opinion.
I mean, and that's fine, but now it seems like guys are just going to keep pushing the envelope, and somebody's going to get Calvin Ridley for sure. You know, somebody's for sure going to get, okay, you know what? You get to stay at home this year. I just don't get it because these guys, and I'm not telling them how to live their lives. These guys are making millions of dollars, and they're betting like $400. Like, what are we doing?
Well, I actually am reading this
mentality.
quote. I'm reading this quote tweet as well. Adam Schefter said players suspended for gambling for the past 2 off seasons. Calvin Ridley, obviously, CJ Moore, Quentin Cephas, Shaka Toney, and then there's a couple more. Shaka Toney I went to college with at Penn State. He wasn't exactly like a very high-profiled athlete. He was a good defensive end. When you're someone like that, why are you risking anything? I mean, even as being a star and making a lot of money, but this is where it doesn't make sense to me. You know, you dream of being in the NFL. You're getting paid all of this money. Just don't bet on the NFL. It's not that hard.
You got one job. Literally, you have one job.
Don't bet on the NFL. You could bet on other things, right? I'm pretty sure that's allowed.
Play in the NFL, bro. Just play. But no, I get it. You know, we gamble and we do all that, but I'm not in the NFL. I don't think Lenny is. Mm-hmm. I don't know what Hannah does when she's not on camera. But
if they're looking for a 50-year-old overweight white male, I am available. I'm just saying.
with all these open spots. Just
all these open spots out there. Holla at your boy. I'll be a great practice squad like cheerleader.
Phone call away.
At this rate, though, it's getting a little out of hand. I mean, pushing the envelope, sure, but you know you're going to get hit for it because they have people out there specifically looking for this now. So we know Isaiah Rodgers of the Colts is one of them. But if there's a handful, this could be a handful of significant players. And then you're wondering what the team's discipline policy is going to become, because I feel like you're going to start seeing individual team disciplines coming out here soon.
Yeah, like
that's a fine line though, just because and you can't go into an NFL stadium, or you can't go into most stadiums now, watch any sport, not have a Barstool Sportsbook there or a FanDuel kiosk or an MGM or whatever it is. There's some kind of sports thing in every arena nowadays. So I don't know how much the team will get involved then. That's where I work, because then if they start messing with money.
I see the side of that, but at the same time, basketball with point shaving and different things like that, this stuff has been around for ages. It's been around forever, and it's a definite slap on the wrist no that you're not supposed to be betting in any way, shape, or form on your own team. So it's going to be very interesting to see where it goes from here, nonetheless. But we have some actual betting to talk about here on Bet Win Repeat, as we have been just talking your ear off this morning about some recent headlines. But when it comes to baseball, the Twins and the Braves are playing right now, and the total in this game was sitting around 10 runs, even though the Twins scored a total of just 3 runs the first 2 games of the series. But with Allard coming back from the oblique injury on the mound, do you think this is why we saw this total sitting so high? And did you bet the over because of what happened last night, or would you have still gone on the under?
I didn't touch the game at all. I think as we said, before we came on, I think this total's a bit inflated with him returning from injury. Mm-hmm. It is hot here in Atlanta, and the ball was flying heavily last night. The Braves hit 6 home runs in the first 2 innings. It was wild. So I was told last night. I didn't see it, but the Braves ran away with it. They coasted. It was never really in doubt, but I think it's a bit inflated. I really do. It's like I said, it's hot here today. It's been hot the last a couple of days, so the ball is flying, and the Braves do usually hit the ball well for day games, but I think it's still a bit inflated because 10's a lot, and
only 2 runs so far into the third.
Yeah, 2 runs. Yeah, into the third.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's just the Twins aren't hitting, and looking at him right here, Colby. Through 3 innings, he's got 6 strikeouts.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's throwing a heavy ball. Kinta's been terrible all season. He's given up the runs. I think it is inflated. I do think the Braves are going to hang on and get the win. But 10 just seems like a lot.
Yeah, for anyone live betting on that game, there's things going on right now. Braves up 2-0 end of the third. But yeah, I thought that 10 was absurd as well. So I wanted to get your opinion on that. Some games happening tonight, Pirates and Padres. The Pirates finally got a win at home yesterday. It was much needed. And the reason I wanted to bring up this game was because of the pitching that we're going to see tonight. You've got the Pirates ace and Mitch Keller on the line. And then a guy like Blake Snell, who in his last 2 outings pitched 6 shutouts and had a less than 1 ERA. He's been fantastic. So having these 2 guys on the mound, I'm very excited. I'll be at the game tonight to see this in action. But the Pirates bats were hot last night. So I get Blake Snell has been fantastic. But the Pirates with their young prospects that have finally come up, they have been hitting the ball. Those guys have been. And it's going to put pressure on other guys to start hitting the ball then with all these young guys. Because if they realize this trend is happening where we bring people up and they're hitting, you'd have to think the Pirates are going to bite the bullet and continue to do this at some point. So what are your thoughts when you look at these 2 teams tonight for the second matchup?
I think the Padres, unfortunately for them, are just a constant disappointment year after year. They have a really good lineup. They have a really good overall team, and they just seem to continuously underperform. I don't know what it is. Like Blake Snell, some people are saying he's an all-star. He's 4-6. With a 3.22 ERA. It's wild being 4-6 with an ERA under 3.5. That means you have no offense. Mitch Keller, he's 8-3 with a 3.45 ERA. Which is wild. They've both given up 10 home runs. I think the Padres I don't know what it is. The Padres just get in their own way year after year. And the Padres have guys like Blake Snell in Tampa. He was a smoke show. Fernando Tatis, he should be a smoke show.
Yep.
Juan Soto, when he was in Washington, he was a smoke show. Manny Machado, I don't know what the hell happens to him. But no, I really, really think there's a ton of value with Pittsburgh tonight. They had a great game last night. They're back at home. I think it's plus 140, plus 150. You could even get good value on the plus 1.5. Because like you said, Blake Snell has been locked in as of late, but sooner or later, they're going to have that hiccup, and San Diego just doesn't hit the ball. They just
When I got it this morning at Pirates, I think there was a plus 135 is where I was seeing it at, because for my Mearsy minute, that's what I liked was Pirates on the money line and looking at that under 8.5 runs too, potentially, because if you want to break it down and say, okay, the Padres clearly have no offense, and against a guy like Mitch Keller, their bats probably won't be as hot. Now, the Pirates bullpen does concern me slightly. However, not as much against a team like the Padres. And then Blake Snell, it takes 1 or 2. Even if it's only 1 or 2 runs, I still like the Pirates on the money line overall. And I don't see it being a high scoring game by any means, but that one's going to be interesting. There's a lot of value plus money on both ways, whether you're looking at the under or money line or combining both for a parlay. Check out the Pirates and Padres, with the Pirates being underrated coming into this one. Rightfully so, because of Blake Snell's pitching and how he's been. But that was something that someone said yesterday too. I thought it was interesting. You named every guy that we talked about and then said, why is the Padres team still the biggest question mark in the MLB with the stars that you're saying? Typically a team with that many big name guys, you would think should be such a threat, and they come in and they do not perform.
Yeah, pretty much. But I also think, what's his name? Their coach, Bob Belvin. That's their coach?
The way this team is being managed, you're saying?
Yeah, I think he gets in the way, and he gets in the way to me in San Diego, a lot like Aaron Boone gets in the way in New York. Just in the damn
right now
way.
with what's going on with the Yankees. Yeah,
just in the damn way. Like pitching moves, they put ridiculous lineups on the field. Like, and I get you're going to have a guy hitting 197 or a guy hitting 232. But when you put all these guys on the field who can't hit and you put them 6, 7, 8, 9, pitch around the top of the order. And that seems to be what happens. Get a rally going, and then the black hole of the lineup comes to the plate. And I just think some teams are poorly managed, poorly constructed, as in regards to the lineups they put on the field. And, I'm not at all a major league manager. I'm not saying I'm even close to being what those guys do, but I've always lived by the motto.
Because there have been a lot of question marks in some of these games in the MLB, and I'll say for certain teams that I like too, where you have seen some decisions being made at this level that are, if a normal person can figure this one out, and why that probably wasn't the smartest move, then what are you doing?
Right. What do you think? I have always lived by, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if it is broke, you have to fix it. And they just don't. Even Dave Roberts in Los Angeles, he has a track record of getting in the way. But.
And those are teams right now you're seeing kind of struggling here and there, right? So it kind of makes sense. If this trend's going, we have to start pointing the finger in that direction. As for other games that you have up on the site today, anything that you wanted to touch on before we move forward into some other hot topics of the week?
I saw somebody say Baltimore. I liked Baltimore today too. It's ballooned up a little bit.
Yeah, Reds have won 9 of their last 10 road games. They're starting Weaver though, and he's lost each of the 5 last games that he started. So I would see value in taking Baltimore as well.
Yep. I think nothing against Lenny, and I wasn't going to say it, but he said it already. I think Texas is going to roll at home tonight against Detroit.
Rangers minus 1.5, locked and loaded, he's saying.
And I like Tampa Bay and Arizona tonight too. I think they could even win by the 1.5. Zach Davies has been fantastic. No, excuse me, not Zach Davies. Zach Davies has been horrendous. Zach Eflin has been fantastic for Tampa Bay. Yeah.
When he was on the mound, one of the games I was betting on them in a Mearsy Minute, that ended up going great as well. So if someone's hot, bet on them, and Eflin's been that guy for sure. Cam also has a ton of bets and premium picks over on our website, picksandparlays.net. If you use promo code MLB, it'll save you 20% off of the entire site. If there's anything else you're curious about heading into a lot of these, Snell over his strike total is a good play for this game. I didn't know what Snell's was. We were just talking about this game, though, in particular. So do you have any idea what Snell's total is heading into this game? I guess I can look it up right now and see. But over 6.5. Is that a lot?
He's been shoving.
I could see this happening. I said I liked the Pirates potentially on like 1-2-0 type, or winning by 1 or 2 type of game, really close game, low scoring. However, those hot bats, young guys looked great last night for the Pirates. If anyone could shake them up, it could be the inconsistency that has been the Pirates batting in the past few weeks and where they've been turning to. So that could be an interesting one. But yeah, I would say his over, even if it is around, I could see 7. I could see this being a battle of ace pitchers for sure. So on FanDuel, already up to 7.5. Okay, he says that as well. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I would say, yeah, Lenny's saying we'll take the under 6.5. Yeah, maybe 6. Maybe it could be sitting around 5.5, 6. I would say. I don't know if I'd see much more than that. So I might like that as well. I would say it'll probably be around 6. Keller over 5.5, potentially. Yeah, with the way the Padres have been hitting, and Keller's leading the league, if not second in the league in strikeouts right now. So I would say the over 5.5 strikeouts for Mitch Keller would be my better bet before I looked ahead at Blake Snell and what he's doing.
Keller has 113 strikeouts. Snell had 11 in his last game. A week ago, Snell has struck out 52 in 43 innings on the road, and he struck out 87 in 71 innings against the National League. So I think Snell's number is right there. I think Keller's is too low.
Yes, I would agree with that. That's why when Lenny said that, I was like, yeah, it's maybe around 6. Could be one of the Buccos gets a hold of the ball, kind of. But yeah, I would definitely look more toward, if you're looking for a pitching prop, look at the Mitch Keller one instead. Okay, moving on though. Shohei Ohtani is who I wanted to talk to you about today, Cam. Homered twice and struck out 10 yesterday. Does anything that he does on the field surprise you anymore?
No,
I mean,
he's
this
like a
guy's
robotic
an animal.
unicorn.
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy. And then he hits the bomb, comes into the dugout and doesn't do the full trip of all the high fives. He just like sends an air five to everybody to save his energy for the pitching mound. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. He's like a 7-1 minus 690 to win the AL MVP. You know, it's exactly like what Lenny just said. He's like a video game.
Do you know when you went on video games when you were younger and you would make that player and just put drag the line all the way up for strengths in every category? Yep. Like Lenny said, yeah, that is Shohei Ohtani. So
and then turn the difficulty all the way down.
Yes, difficulty all the way down, player strengths all the way up, and create a monster. Shohei Ohtani is that in human form out in LA right now. He's been
it's just crazy what he does. And I mean, yeah, he hits for power, but he hits well. You know, he's not just a home run hitter. Like he hits and he hits and he hits, and then he's playing every day. He's DHing. You know, he's in the lineup every day, which I think is just crazy. He hits. They have him on the field to hit, and then every sixth day, okay, go pitch.
Okay, but can we say this now? I know he's a unicorn, but I had been having a discussion with my dad about this in terms of players taking too much rest days these days, whether it's an NBA, whether it's an MLB. He said in Major League Baseball, when you turn games on back in the day, you knew exactly who was going to be there, and it was the same guys in the lineup, night in, night out. And now, is this guy going to DH? Is he going to take a break? Is he going to take a couple weeks off? Will you see him on the field? Is Shohei Ohtani kind of breaking the mold for that, putting pressure on other good players to be performing every night?
Yeah, I think, first of all, a day off, I get it. I get it. You know, they play Major League Baseball, they play 162 games in something like 185, 190 days. I get it. But Shohei seems to have a different groove than other guys. He's playing all the time. He's hitting. Yeah, I know he's not fielding his position. You know, he's not in the outfield. He goes to the plate 4 or 5 times a night, and then, you know, every 6th day or so he pitches. But it doesn't seem like he has to get back in the rhythm of things. He's there, he's playing, and right. I get it. And, you know, I'm not knocking anybody else. I know there's a ton of guys who play every day. But like Ronald Acuna here in Atlanta, he plays every day. Smoke show. Luis Ariz in Miami hitting 400. He plays every day. Smoke show. I think playing every day or playing most of the time has its perks. I get it. You know, you need an off day. You need to rest. You know, if you have an East to West Coast trip, okay, cool. Sit down. See you tomorrow. But I think for the most part, playing consistently and playing every day keeps you rolling.
I agree completely. And baseball is one of those sports it's hard to look at and say, okay, basketball, I get it. You're up and down the court, your contact. When you're just hitting in baseball every once in a while and you need a rest day here and there, I think it's a little more unforgiving in this sport. And Shohei Ohtani is definitely making it hard for a lot of stars out there to sit down and take rest days, especially young stars as well. So that's going to be interesting to see. Maybe does that cause a shift? Does anyone address that at all? Where will that take it? In the NBA sphere, I want to get to Bill's question here, just our fans tuning in. We always appreciate all of your comments, questions, concerns. Cam, have you ever seen anyone like Wemby? I think he's the real deal. When we're taking Wemby from basketball to baseball, did you see the photo of him with his hand over the ball, completely over the ball, touching his fingers? He made it look like he was holding a ping pong ball in his hand. So if you've ever seen anything like him, he's the real deal.
I think he can really go. I really, really do think he can really go. I think if there was no Victor, Scoot would have went number 1. I know Scoot went number 3, but I think Scoot would have went number 1. But, you know, he's 7'5", 7'4", 7'5". His wingspan's well over 8 feet. He can shoot it. He can handle it. He's got to put on some weight. You know, he's got to put on some weight. He's got to get stronger because there's a lot of veterans Yep. There's a lot of veterans. There's a lot of guys in the league who have been in the league for a long time. And he's like a new toy.
Yeah.
He's like a new toy to the league. And he's going to get bumped. He's going to get knocked down. There's going to be guys physical on him that are going to test him out. He's got to get stronger. He's got to get bigger. He's got to put some weight on. You know, much like Chet Holmgren. Chet, 7'3", big, long, skinny kid from up north. Can go, can play, you know, can block shots, can shoot, can score. But, you know, when you're 7 foot, that's a lot on your body.
Like Lenny's saying, too thin, won't stay healthy. Yeah, some of these guys have definitely got to start putting on the pounds to be competitive, especially when you look at the guys that they could be going up against. There's some big 4-5s down in the NBA that will give you a run for your money if you're easy to push out of the way. So he has to stay healthy, has to put on some weight. You would think that would be part of his that would be top priority on the training regimen moving in toward the NBA. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about, something super exciting, sports fans. Simone Biles is back. Super exciting to see this morning. She'll be making an appearance in August at the U.S. Classic outside of Chicago for the first time since 2020 and experiencing the twisties. So if anyone is a gymnastics fan, anyone's a fan of the beast and the unicorn that is Simone Biles, she will be back, which is exciting. Is she back just in time for the 2024 Olympics?
It seems
well timed.
It seems like it. And see, she's still young.
Mm-hmm.
She's still, I'm not sure how old she is, but she was really young when she got to the mountaintop. So she's still young, you know. And
she's 26 years old. So I would say if she's going to compete, this will be the last one. But she did not look like she was. She was 2 steps ahead of everybody. The things she was doing had to be scored differently because no one else could physically was able to do that skill. So that's going to be really exciting just in the terms of the Olympics right around the corner and things that are going to be happening. Thought that was a newsworthy topic to bring up. So I think everyone will be excited. Cam, are you excited to see her back? I mean, she is what makes watching Olympics and gymnastics so fun.
I love the Olympics. So yeah, I love the Olympics. I've said it before. I watch everything, you know, I watch everything. Me and my mom, we watch America, you know, just
heck yeah.
Of course, we're heavy with the world. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. The World Cup's coming. Excited about that. But the Olympics is just so fun every year. And you get to see all the top athletes in the world in regards to what they do on the grandest stage. I think the Olympics is just fantastic every 4 years. Every time we get to endure and see the Olympics, it's fantastic. But pretty soon you're going to see me and this guy.
What is going on?
Yeah. We're curlers, but and I don't mean like curlers. I mean like
right. No curls for the girls. We're talking about curls.
Yeah, we're talking about we're on the ice. Yeah.
Fabulous. Yeah. I had a friend's mom actually in high school who was in a wheelchair and she did so many wheelchair sports and she actually curled and it was fantastic. And that was actually my first experience watching curling live, was watching sort of like the Paralympic athletes doing it. So that was really cool. Yeah. So we'll see how good you guys are at curling. What's going to be your technique? Are you going to be a sweeper? Are you going to go fast? Or are you going to be the one throwing the rock? What's going to be your skill?
We're going to win.
The technique is the win.
The technique is to win.
To win. That's it. That's all we do. Win, win, win. We bet, we win, repeat. See what I did there?
Bet, win, repeat, curl. Can we get curl, win, repeat shirts? Hello.
Curl, is that our new thing? Damn it. I got it. I'm sending the email now.
Curl, win, repeat.
Curl, win, repeat. I'll get on that.
CWR, baby.
One other thing before we left, and this is George Kittle, I'm going to say, is a spiller. He's that guy. When he chugs beers, he's spilling.
He's spilling.
And Will Compton called them out on it a few times during this day. But this here is their celebration victory kind of chug. It's whatever you'll see here.
Yes, we need to play this. This is the content we needed today.
Yeah.
And this is going to prove that he's a spiller, correct?
Fifth annual championship. This is their first time, by the way. It's cheapest bullshit.
Look at his shirt.
Yeah, right. It's terrible.
I mean, nothing has happened. And look at his shirt. His hair's wet. Jeez.
Yeah, and he's just gonna chug this out of here. Really, is all he does. But look, he's a spiller. Now I get that.
Oh, he's such a spiller. Okay, only reason I'll give him this one is not really a spill is because that's the kind of cup that's like is really hard to drink out of. It's gonna go everywhere. But he just the way his mouth is when chugging a beer, it's not even open at all. He's definitely spilling.
Yeah,
there is technique you can tell if someone's going to be.
He's drinking out of a bucket, so I mean you're going to lose some here.
There's a lot of witness here on this where they were talking about it.
I can't wait to hear the podcast and the TikToks that are going to be coming out about this. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. So to circle all the things around, we talked about Beer Olympics in the beginning. We wrapped it all up for you at the end. Some great content in Bet Win Repeat today about what our best bets are. Talking about MLB. We're talking about Simone Biles being back, Shohei Ohtani being a unicorn. Go ahead and rewatch this episode if you tuned in with us a bit late. This is Bet Win Repeat. Like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. We are live Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. And don't forget, head over to picksandparlays.net. Use promo code MLB. It will save you 20% off of our entire site. Until next time, this is Bet Win Repeat. I'm Hannah Mears. That's Detroit Lenny. And that is Cam the Man. And we'll see you next time.
Boom.
Boom.